lot of people are stealing from the system.
Absolutely.
And through the ghost worker syndrome.
It's all right then. Let's move straight to our next conversation. In what is a reversal of its earlier decision, the Nigerian police has dispatched operatives of the Force Intelligence to Kano State to obtain a statement from the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi, discreetly. Now, the police had earlier summoned the Emir to visit its office in Abuja for questioning in connection with the violent incidents that marred the Salah celebrations in Kano on the 30th of March. The police spokesperson, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, said the decision to withdraw the invitation followed consultations with respected stakeholders and in line with the Inspector General of Police, Kaide Egbetokun's commitment to ensuring policing activities are not politicized or misinterpreted. Bikil, I need to ask you this. I mean, why was the Emir invited by the police, you know, to clarify certain issues? And also, now that the invitation has now been withdrawn, what happens then?
No, it was not a sensible thing to say the Emir should come to Abuja.
Absolutely.
Whatever you want to take from the Emir, whatever information you are looking for in the course of your investigation, you can get it right there in Kano. You can deploy your senior person, go to Kano and interview the Emir. Nobody is above the law in our country.
Okay, let's put
no
that
Emir is above the law.
True.
No matter how big you are as an Emir, you are under the local government chairman.
True.
The Dasuki reform, that's what they brought out. Dasuki, when he was doing the reform, I think the reform in 1976 or so, he never knew that he would become a sultan. So as a sultan, you are under your local government chairman.
You're a paid employee.
You're an employee. It's your boss. No matter how big your turban is, it's your boss. That's the reality. No Nigerian is bigger than our laws.
Okay.
I don't know the point that the police wanted to make. Yes, they are not happy with Emir Sanusi. No doubt about it, because they didn't expect him, after leading prayers, to climb a horse.
Exactly.
When you climb a horse in that way and you are moving, it suggests that, the procession has begun. No? And they said, we don't want processions. What we had suggests that it will go violent. And of course, they were proved right. Because as soon as he mounted the horse and was moving, Kano is already now divided along two lines. The other person laying claim to the emirship, he has his crowd. Go and watch videos when Aminu Ado Bayero is going to mosque. Or even the other day when he was going to Umrah. Come and see people behind him. So I wasn't surprised that the other people thoroughly aggrieved that they saw the emir on a horse at a time when the appeal court had directed that they should return to status quo ante. So when, yes, there was the judgment of a smaller court, which rendered null and void the what's it called, his enthronement. But the appeal court then validated his enthronement. But
that's
yes, this person's enthronement.
Bayero?
No,
Emir Sanusi's
enthronement. Now, the Aminu Ado Bayero's people decided to appeal to the Apex Court. Now, if they've appealed to the Apex Court, it makes sense for the judgment to not be implemented.
Okay.
So, the appeal court then listened to the appellants and said, okay, Kano State government maintains status quo ante, which means that the matter that you brought before us, yes, we've given judgment, but go back to the way things were.
Okay.
If we were to look strictly at the matter from the prism of the law, Emir Sanusi is not Emir of Kano.
Going by what the appeal court
said. Going by the fact that the appeal court said,
go back to
status quo ante. So the other people must have felt, yes, we got what we wanted.
Exactly.
For now, yeah.
For now, until the Supreme Court
makes a final
decides
decision
on the matter. It's just like saying, okay, somebody was sentenced to death. Do you go ahead to cut the person's head before the apex court decides on this matter?
No.
Let's be sensible as a people. You know? So, the police felt this thing will lead to violence because the state is sharply divided. It's not even politicized.
Exactly.
Heavily politicized now. You see more people from the NNPP on the side of, because the government led by the NNPP
that
took that decision.
Exactly.
The other people, you see more people with from APC on their side. So the state is divided. Absolutely. And then, of course, when that judgment, when the coronation was done at that time, when that law, repealing the 2019 law was done, it meant that the emirs of Rano and the rest of them, the emirs of Rano, emirs of Guyana, others, 5 of them had lost their position. So you can imagine that would divide people. That would not make people happy.
All right.
So at this point, when you want to do
the Doba
or everything, there are 2 Dobas, the two processions that they do. They call one Hawan Doshe, the other one is Hawan Nasarawa. Hawan Nasarawa, he will do a procession to go and see the governor, to pay homage to the governor. The other one is that one we are used to, another where we
the right horses.
Neither of those 2 events took place because of the peculiar nature. In fact, the police had to barricade. Maybe when we come back, we'll continue.
We need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout.
The Inspector General of Police has met with senior officers to review the state of security.
We are continuing our coverage of the arrest of Godwin Emefiele.
The Senate has summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to properly brief the Senate regarding the state of the economy.
What I will never take is threat.
Let's now bring you more development from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have BKO right here and GKB. There was an agreement by all the parties that no Saladoba.
No procession.
The procession. But in this regard, we still saw the Emir Sanusi get on the horse. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I think the Emir was wrong.
He breached an agreement.
But we've known Emir Sanusi long before he became an Emir.
So you're not surprised?
As one will not be too surprised about what really happened. He tended, as even as the CBN governor, to work on the fine line between what is right and what, in his own opinion, is what he will do. And this is just along the same level of thinking. The police, as we all agreed, may have done a literal thing by summoning the man. But even with that, Yorubas will say, there's a way to say sorry. That's either you are being rude or you are being nice. I think what the police has done is basically to read the mood of the society and play the game accordingly. But ultimately, they will still get the Emir's views
on
what happened on that particular day.
Someone has died. Someone died.
Two persons.
You know, this is culpable homicide. Yeah, someone died.
Yes, a vigilante
officer
was shot with, I think, a Dane gun, you know. But the thing is, the police can stop a procession if they believe that it will lead to bloodshed.
Exactly.
At the height of Boko Haram's powers, you know that you can't do this kind of thing. Because there will be genuine fear that they can plant a bomb. And Boko Haram indeed bombed some mosque and killed people.
In Kano?
In Kano.
Even during the former...
Yes.
Former Emir. The late Emir.
Yes. So, the thing is, we have to be careful.
Sure.
I oppose the idea of sending him an evidence to come down to Abuja. It was supposed to appear on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Because you could have done it here. You see, people in government, sometimes you wonder who advises them. Because it makes no sense. At the end of the day, it will reflect so badly on the government. People will see them as people who don't know what they are doing. There are times when these things happen, you ask yourself, is this the work of fifth columnists?
Okay.
Yes, because it happened during Buhari's time as a military head of state. Buhari's people went, the soldiers, let me not say Buhari's people, soldiers went, ransacked Awolowo's library. They turned his library upside down. Some people did it at that time to make the public begin to hate Muhammadu Buhari and his government. And when we interviewed him at the news magazine, he said he was not aware that they were going there. Nobody told him. You know? So some people within his own government who wanted to embarrass him, who are not happy, because we could be working together, but you actually don't want me to succeed. So Buhari told us that he was not aware they were going there. So they have to be careful what steps they take, because for me, I don't think that a person who has benefited from, who has good advisors, will take this kind of step. It makes no sense.
Sure.
You can send people, I mean, now they've taken the right step. I'm saying that the Emir, Emir Sanusi, after that incident, he then had police surround his palace.
Okay.
They took the step so that he doesn't proceed from there to do the two processions. No, I talked about two processions. Hawan Doshe and Hawan Nasarawa. So he couldn't do those two. He couldn't do those two this year because the exit points and entry into the palace were marked. So it's like the police wanted to implement their directive and they successfully implemented it. But before then, there was that incident. So as we grapple with this matter of Kano having two emirs, and with politicians playing their part to ensure that this thing continues to get messy, the two factional emirs, should behave themselves.
True.
They should not put people in harm's way on account of bad judgment. Because whether we like it or not, both of them have supporters in large numbers.
Large numbers.
That is the fact. If we want to, when they are going to mosque, come and see crowd. So if they say, look, this thing can breach the peace, please don't do it. Don't cause. How did the Emir feel when they tear-gassed him in the bid to keep the rioters at bay? I saw a video where the Emir was struggling with the tear gas. Is that what we want to see?
No.
No. But the police too should be careful what they do. Sending a letter to him saying come down to Abuja was a no-no. That was a terrible step, a wrong one, and they should not do it again.
All right, let's move straight to our next conversation.